What happened? Oh, yeah, that's right. Passed out, my little brother proceeded to do a reading. You guys do know if he played it straight, right? Right? You know if he didn't do anything weird, right? Your silence perturbs me. Next chapter, naturalism. But we don't normally wear clothes anyway. What's the point of being naturalist? But why do I feel like that doesn't mean what I think it does? It will be one of the happiest days of her life. I stand through the hourglass, I see. She almost finished completely moving in, a process which has taken 2 moons. It's as close to broke as she has since fillyhood when her parents, who love her, don't understand this. Oh, great. You know, it sounds like this. I kind of appreciate how normal the canon parents are, and how nice they are. Because sometimes I do enjoy the fact that it blows all these dark, oh, they're not understanding, and other bullcrap fix out of the water. That's right. This is a sugar bowl and full of happiness, and you're gonna like it! If you want something dark, go watch Gundam. Undiluted rainbows and candy Columbus, none of which ever truly appealed to her. She was spent on fruit, summer hay, things from below. Even when she was very young, long before she made her first involuntary visit. Foodstuffs she can have now all the time! And she can just get things to the point where she'll be able to pay for them, or simply take advantage of what's from being on the ground! This place is truly her own. Her parents gave her the money to pay for it. It was the extensive savings of bits, which were originally supposed to be used for weather college. Does does Ryan really think that all we Pegasi are doomed to be weather ponies? I'm a bookstore owner and recording studio. That's beside the point. Now suck it into the ground. They care for her so much sometimes to look at her as they can't understand how she could truly be their daughter. And such hopes for her, she knows. Some of her extended family has worked for the Weather Bureau, many high ranking, some in charge of entire cities, few even venturing out into the wild zones, trying to establish control before control, taming the worst portions before they could surprise Ponylands, and long before she was born. Her parents began to save, for scholarships were hard to come by, even though they had been confident in her before she was born. You don't need a scholarship to Weather College. You could just get a job there. It's open. Every Pegasi can enter it. The best weather colleges were always expensive. Even a full break in tuition and possible legacy discount for board would mean high expenses. Why is there a weather college? Magic College I can understand, but all we ponies, Pegasi need to do is just push the clouds and kick to make lightning. Do we really need this? We have a weather factory, sure, but I don't really think we need all the scholarship and BS. I mean, even if we were to ignore the so-called realism of this, some people don't even need a degree to work at a factory. Everything except dating. Don't get me started. Nothing has happened to change her mind. She has nothing any pony would desire to be with. She is defective. Life is so limited and I want my money back. She knows it. Maybe now it won't matter anymore. She looks around. The land was cheap, really. She got quite a lot of it for what she had to spend and understand that it's hers. Although she's still trying to work this thing out called property tax. There's no property tax at Cloudsdale? What? And Hustle will come back to haunt her. No pony else wanted to live here. She does understand why. The reasons scare her. It's kept her from sleeping well on the occasions she does sleep, averaging less than 3 hours every day when she was the teeniest feeling, and even less after her mark appeared. And she is waiting for something to go wrong there. But in a way, this is where she has to be. Still, she is living right next to the wild zone! The real estate agent had kept explaining to her over and over, as if it was afraid she might come back to sue him after claims of what she had been told. The strange realm known as the Everfree Forest starts mere hoofsteps away from the edge of her property. He told her she was barely within the zone of control! Said something she wasn't really understanding about background effect possibly not reaching her. He wasn't responsible for whatever scented pony so close to the border came out to get a closer look. Or worse, like the worst thing, worse! Never quite discussed. It was what seemed to have happened to the prior occupant. Something about the Necronomicon, I'm not completely sure. In fact, he nearly talked to her several times, and was with shaking feathers and clattering teeth she finally signed the papers. She was chilly. Just barely old enough to legally take responsibility on the contract. Only managed because he had been waiting years to do it. Seeing a dent in his courage over a long time, it turned out to be just barely enough. But this is where she has to be, isn't it? The animals are in that forest. Some of them may venture out to her. She may, it scares her, terrifies her, makes all four knees shake, had to go in deep to find them. That's her job! She knows that more strongly than she's never owned anything. All it's sometimes to take and make a lingering doubts go away is to glance back at her flank. Philip and Mark spoke to her on that day. It disappeared, told her she was meant to do and be. Now she is old enough to just barely to do and be. She is here on the ground. She is home. For the first time in her life, she is truly home. Speaking of which, I found out that there's a pony fic from SD where Luna has to deal with a mare whose cutie mark represents that she has the ability to raise sexual concerns. That's right. She has the special talent to make every pony horny around her. And she hates it. Now, the author tried to make up for this by saying, oh, it's only with ponies of her own age group. So, that means that when she was around 12 and 13-year-olds, because that's when ponies start puberty, there is literally no way you can explain this without making it sound icky. And making it ready for our first visitor. Or our first pony visitor, anyway. Some of the animals have already begun to find her, and in reverse. Resting in her living room now is a baby bunny. Yes, bunny. She's still trying to learn all the names. Well, she found along the edges of the Everfree during her first curious peek. It had been under attack of something, which is very natural right to attack and eat him, because that was how the bigger thing lived. She understands that, knows she'll have to deal with it over and over in the years to come. Realized it so early, but hadn't made her happy. She had done something. Eye contact. Something in her stare. Something which makes her a little afraid of herself. But it had worked. And now the tiny bunny, whose parents she could not find. Oh, since it's Angel, his parents are Satan and Beelzebub. Is recovering in her living room. Actually, since it's Angel Bunny, his dad is Lucifer and his mom is Lilith. Mom? Dad? I have a little bunny brother? She pulled him out of the cycle once he did that. She knows. Felt it on the level of the mark! We're assisting as pets, right? Pets who aren't birds and bats and larger insects. Pets outside the cycle, just a little. Maybe he'd like to be her pet. She'll have to ask him. She sings to herself as she walks around. Walks! Ground! Excitement! As he makes ready. The interior of the cottage has been cleaned. Something was already shown signs of becoming a permanent struggle. Few of her earlier guests are housebroken. She cleaned the exterior, floor to roof, and was amazed at the celerity against her hoofs. Clouds had always felt too soft. Tacky! Like she was thinking a few centimeters of slightly made taffy. Walking across the floors of her parents' house, the streets of Cloudsdale, while seeing all the pagans sigh about her business, as if strolling on vapor was the most natural thing in the world. She never quite feel of it, or total feel! And now she knows why. Because the wonderful place was waiting for her. And all it took to make things right! Or at least create the chance for it, was the arrival of her cutie mark. Speaking of dating, guys, could somebody please look back for me and let me know if among the suitors that SD was talking about in the last chapter was a mare? I kind of want to check something. That ultimately was what her parents understood. The mark could not be denied. They loved her. They loved her well. They did everything they could to help set her a new life. They don't understand her at all. How such a strange mark could manifest on their daughter. Still, and they love her anyway. It does show that she has a talent with animals, guys. Birds are animals. Owls are too. Other animals that could reach Cloudsdale. Eagles, falcons, tortoises with helicopters. And his visitor's voice was alight with wonder. There were days when I thought I'd never hear that fluttershy. Never hear you. Happy! She doesn't jump or start. He always comes like this. As he's been expecting him all morning. Doctor. She laughs again, gallops towards him, almost bounding over as it makes contact. She stands still, just filling out along her body. What? The stretched out appearance, overall calculus of early puberty finally starting to fade. But she's stronger than she looks. You made it. What? Like early puberty? Oh, God. Do we got another one of those guys who thinks that all the main six were about 5 years old when they got their cutie marks? Oh, Stacey McGonna. Okay, this was something that Mike and Pops did. SD, you're thinking like Mike, and don't do that. That the main six were all like 5 when they got their cutie marks. I disagree. Merely because of the way I see it. And if you pay attention to the dialogue, you could probably understand why I'm coming from this angle. It has a lot to do with Apple Bloom's first episode, where she talks about her cutie mark. The way that Apple Bloom and the other girls were acting, and the kids, they were all acting like kids who were just starting to, you know, experience puberty. Nervousness, the ability to go, ha, look at me now. Even Diamond Tiara had a cute Sierra. I know that's for a cutie mark, but that's supposed to be a pun on the Quinceañera, 16 years old. When a girl or person is supposed to be coming out. Don't treat it like that. I mean coming out party, as in the old formal way of saying that the person is ready to start dating. It's kind of a ritual. And that's the way all of this was acting. Like Diamond Tiara had finally matured and became, a slowly growing teenager. She had long since lost preteen. Plus, it also makes sense. When you're, say, preteen age, this is from 10 on to 13, that's when you start trying to figure out who you are, trying to discover what you want to do in life, and more questions start answering, and of course, you start finding weird little changes in your body. So, it would make sense for a cutie mark to appear on puberty for when they're preteens over being 5 years old. That makes more logical sense. And for a person who's talking about reality, that's the way it would be real in the real world. Would be that this is something that they understand when they become preteens, not when they're little kids, not when they're 5 years old. When you're 5, you still think of weird stuff like, "Oh, one day I'm going to own a restaurant where everybody can play video games, and I'm going to cook for everybody." Ah, you're never gonna let go of that dream, are you? No. I'm happy with being the book owner. That I'm happy. I'm just happy with what I am. But you understand, that's the kind of reaction I'm getting. Not only that, but there's another example. During the Kingdom Hearts Chronicles, we see Fluttershy with long legs and gangly hair. That's clearly a teenager who experienced a wee bit of a growth spurt. And if you guys remember Lauren Faust's original ideas, it was all about them having different sizes. So, yeah, they shouldn't be little kids when they get cutie marks. That's my perspective. It's not the only one, but it is mine. Plus, I love the joke of Rainbow Dash broke the barrier so hard she caused everybody else to break into puberty, but that's beside the point. Oh, and another thing, look at how Twist acts when Apple Bloom comes in. She acts like a girl who just kind of grew. She's a little nervous about her friend finding out. His eyes twinkle. How Mary, did you think I wouldn't come? She seems to shrink a little. Does that? There's so many other ponies in. Hope gently touches her chin and props her head up. Oh, great! He's grooming her! I am not grooming her! I just I just came here to tuck her chin, look at her longingly in the eyes, and I am not helping my case. No, you're not, Epstein! Relax, my eldest. I came here to see you! My newest friend, who was 2 days ago, and my next should be here in another 3. My time now is for you! But I'm not worth. He susses her. She hugs him with her wings as best as she can, and then begins to show him around. A hen house? He asks, and his voice is amazed! Were you also planning on taking on tenants? Not really, she tells him. The big farms get most of the boarders. I'm so used to having ones who don't talk around. But I like the chickens, and they like me. A rooster came in 2 days ago. There's a couple in town who said they always need fresh eggs, and that's a few bits. I know it's going to be hard to keep this place up, but if I line everything up, I can. I did the math. I think I can manage if I just watch my expenses. Boarders wouldn't hurt, but they talk. He smiles. Maybe in time. The words stop. He is staring, looking at the ground, ahead as if he may never blink again. Doctor? I, he softly declares, seem to be rather hungry after my journey. Do you think any of those carrots are ready? Yes. She laughs, runs to the garden, pulls out the choicest ones for herself. Lets his field take it once it clears the ground. Just say telekinesis! It was one of the first things I began working on when I started moving in 2 moons ago. It's an earth pony town. At least mainly. There's so many of them. I just tried, but I could do it. It was so easy! And anything I grow is one less expense. So if it is food, I can get the animals. Her voice fades a little. I'm still trying to figure out meat! I know! I'm going to get carnivores. I asked around. The places that make food for pets, they scavenge the... Oh, don't worry, Little Bear. I won't say it. I don't want you to continue bashing your head. I need use magic to clean up the remains. It's not a nice job, and I don't have the magic for it. And they're needing meat. Makes those kind of pet food so expensive. You'll work it out, he tells her, his voice filled with more confidence in her than he ever feels in herself. With Brad! If you got this far, there are no limits to the rises you can pursue. Just talk to your parents, letting you come down, even with your mark. There are times when I thought they'd never let you descend. Certainly not while you're still so young. And here you are, with your own home, the start of your business. What, they didn't let her grow up to be an adult? What the hell, guys? He's smiling at her, eyes warm and fine, kind. Show me, Fluttershy. Show me what you could do down here. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on! With creatures other than the ones you know. Damon Maldick! She doesn't ask. She doesn't question. She is just happy! Fully within reason of her cutie mark. In the heart of her talent. Standing on her own ground! About to do what she can better than any pony in front of some pony she loves. She looks out at the border. Groom, 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 chai, 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 groom, 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 groom. It's a grooming party, and you're invited. It's a grooming party, and you're invited. I also see a hole in the tree. Cece's home! She makes a sound, a noise she hadn't known she was aware until that moment. A sound she never heard before, and one entirely natural to her. A creature pokes out a nose, then a head. Its little pauses as he looks as he can grasp. The rest shortly follows, concluding with a tail large enough to drape across its entire body, provide shade for everything below. She laughs to see it, kindly. The creature doesn't mind. It runs up to her, nose twitching, makes a sound like a light squeal, the twin to the one she just created, and then runs up on her left hind leg and stands on her back, upright on her rear paws. What is it? She softly asks. I know it's a friend. It's called a squirrel, he tells her. You never seen one before? I want to look up the Cutie Mark Chronicles to see if a squirrel is amongst the animals. I have, once, that first day, but I didn't know the name. There's so many books. I'm going to speak to one just now, not personally. Oh, I think it is Suzette. It sets off her back right to the tree, back to the hole, but seconds later returning to her. What do you think I should do? Say thank you, he suggests, but tell it, her. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mess up. Tell her that you don't really need to go on, just finish the sentence. You dug yourself the hole. You don't really to nut right now, but you're grateful for the offer and will remember it. Good boy. Thank you. She does. The squirrel chatters at her. Looks pleased and leaves. She glanced back at her visitor. There are tears in her eyes. Doctor, she does something wrong. The other Pegasi, her parents, some of my ponies felt. Wait. Oh, darn, missed the quotation marks. Felt was wrong. Was even a Q mark, and it's another sign of defect. Okay. So by this fixed reckoning, I'm defective, and I got experimented on because I'm a Pegasus, and my bookmark is and my cutie mark is a pile of books. Well, actually, Inkwell now. Is it Inkwell? I like to tell stories. Well, okay. To be fair, I am a little weird. My dad was a dragon. My mom is a nurse pony, and my little brother is a Kieran. I get that. I mean, I'm the one who inherited most of the pony genes. My little brother inherited most of the dragon genes. Little dork. Never be. Just can't. He tries closer, puts his front leg on her shoulders, gives her the nuzzle meant for family. Police! You're exactly where you should be, he tells her. Exactly who you should be. Never forget that in all this world, you're unique. Your gifts, you're wonderful and shy. My first, my eldest, my special Philly. She nuzzles him back, and she is happy. The rest of the day will be spent with him. No, don't spend time with him! Run! Call the police! Call something to help! Just do something! And then after that, Fluttershy wakes up and sees Twilight on the sports field playing ball. And after our mystery mayor disappears, Twilight can only say, Discord was right. Something is wrong.